Hello everyone, my name is Patrick and here we are demonstrating a proof of concept for an ASP.NET enabled web application will be hosted with Project Westminster. So the premise of this particular application is that we have this fictional company that keeps on tracking requests. So prior to hosting this particular application, for a typical web application, what we usually do is that when we want to get updates on some of the business objects that we work on in our application, it's either updates can be sent through email, or perhaps there would be some UI changes in your web application that tells about the updates and everything and what's not in your web application. So the purpose of this video is to show some proof of concept of how actually Project Westminster would help or add some new functionality or features for your application using toast notifications in Windows 10, and if ever there would be some workarounds if your current view or if your app or your access to the application is not supporting Windows runtime. So you see three screens right now. The first one is the web application. So this could be your typical web application view, and then we have two additional views. So this is the hosted web app, which is pretty much the same web app. It's just that hosted inside, and then that same application published as a hosted application in a Windows 10 mobile phone. So to get things started, let's input the names, or let's get started with logging into the system by identifying ourselves based on the environment that we're logging in. So let's start off with a browser. Let's say user-browser. So click enable session. So the system kind of knows who joined the room or who are the active users. And then let's go here in the hosted app. Let's say here user-app, and then click enable session. So you would notice the status on the browser. It shows that someone else has joined, or someone else have accessed the application. So in typical scenarios, we don't really view this information, not unless you are an admin or some sort of in your application. And then last but not least is the phone. So let's say here user-phone. Let's just click enable session. Okay. One thing that you've noticed is that first is we are getting updates for everyone joining the room. So this is actually useful at times when we want to keep track the users of our application. Typically, we don't know exactly how many users are logged into the system, and SignalR actually helps us in identifying those and implementing an easy way to keep track of the users logging into our application. So one change as well is the number of buttons available for each screen. For the browser-based access on the app, you would see that there are only two buttons, web notification and application toast. In contrast to the other two views we're in, it has a lot of buttons. Main differences for the two is that on the phone view and on the hosted app view, there are additional functionalities where we could use with our application. It's just that this additional functionalities is not supported in the web, so we're not enabling that one on the web. But this is video 1 of 2. The first video just focuses on the functionality that is available both on the browser and on the hosted apps, whether on the phone or in the desktop. And the second video is focusing on the other functionalities that we have on the phone and on the desktop app that is not available on the browser view. Let's get started. The first one is the web notification. We can say that web notification is similar to Facebook notification, wherein you're getting some sort of UI change that appears and then fades right away. That pretty much tells us what are we going to tell the user about the changes that we have. So here, let's trigger the web notification. This being a SignalR application, it is expected and assumed that whatever view or whatever change action executed on one screen would be reflected on other screens as well, thus being connected application. So let's click here, web notification. So you would notice on the lower right of each of individual screens, we'll be getting something like a blue notification about a specific change. So let's just click web notification, and you would see here that this is a generic message. So pretty much similar to Facebook. But a good thing with this one is that sometimes you want that functionality or that particular feature wherein um, the speed or the length of the display of the notification is quite quick. But you can actually adjust that particular setting based to your own liking. Um, you can tell perhaps if you have an application and you're going on a downtime, you can actually have the same functionality as web notification and tells that, hey, we'll be closing the application or restricting access to the application in 10 minutes. Please save all the changes that you've been doing. So the good thing with that one is that here in this particular application, if you click web notification and then you click on the window on the notification, you would see a status on who is the user who actually clicked that particular notification. It also shows from the other environments on that user browser click the notification as well as the app. So let's try here in the phone. So click, there's some sort of delay, web notification, and then click on it. And then you would see that user phone click the notification, and it's pretty much the same here on the desktop app. So click web notification, so user app, click the notification. So the mere fact that you got the user, you can say that you don't need to broadcast exactly that that this particular user click the notification. If you are an admin of the website, you can actually get this user's, oh, this user has actually clicked on the button, so he or she might be still accessing the application. So you can inform them right away that hey, we noticed that you're still accessing the application, so you can still save the changes and we're going out in X minutes. So this is it, simple as that. The second notification functionality that we'll be doing is the application toast. Let's click on this one. So as the comment or the caption says, this button will trigger a web notification in a browser. It's not really a web notification that I have implemented, but more of let's say a text that whatever would appear on the two other screens will also appear in this web browser. It shows here that the toast simulates as if a normal business logic takes place. The toast will display a fictional business object and the current status from an ASP.NET Web API endpoint. So activation of this toast will just append the business object information in the status bar. There are two things. A toast can be triggered in a web application only if it's hosted inside a hosted app. Otherwise, it will not work. But for the purpose of sharing information, let's say for example, wherever the action would be triggered, either from the phone or to the app or to the desktop, each environment will get a status and information of that one. So let's try to click try application toast. Click this one, try application toast. So you would notice that there is a toast on the desktop. Request 2011-31392. Let's go on the phone. The same information has been displayed. Let's check the browser. Do we get any notification? Yes, same request 2011-31392. So regardless of the environment, you can still get the same maybe status change of that particular business object, so you get this particular information. In the desktop, if in case that you miss the toast, you would be able to see it in the action center as well. So pretty much easy. And then the good thing with this one is if you click on this, let's say on the action on this particular update, we call it the toast activation. You would see here the raw data So user app has clicked the application toast, raw data is this. So in the code, you can actually set some additional parameters, right? If you want to um, like pull this information, remember that what I appended is a request number, but in a real life scenario, maybe, okay? So this could be something like request ID that we could reference. And then rather than displaying the information on this screen, we could redirect the current view to that particular request, depending on how you would actually want to have it implemented. Okay, so um, so triggered from the web app. So let's just close this, and then let's try if we can trigger the same. Um, I think let's just check. I'm not sure if I. Let's just check the phone. Click on application toast. Try application toast. So we got 2010133364, same as well on the desktop. And is it the same on the browser? Yes, it's pretty much the same on the browser. So again, if you click this, here activation from the phone, click on this, you would see that user phone has clicked the toast. Raw data is um, the same values that we have. So that goes for the first video. The second video would focus on the rest of the buttons from which the browser doesn't can't really trigger, but it would be very nice to know exactly how would these buttons would actually work, and how can I actually customize this particular um, buttons to your liking or depending on the implementation that you want.